MCAT 2017 Cram. Critical Analysis and Reasoning Skills. Flashcard set 15.3 Utilitarianism Ethics. As you view the reading of this passage, you'll notice some highlighted snippets of text. What I want you to do is garner meaning from these specific selections in order to answer the two reasoning within the text question that follow the passage. All right, so good luck and happy reading. Paragraph 1. Utilitarianism is a philosophical concept of politics and ethics. For the utilitarian, politics and ethics are interwoven into the science of moral duty. In other words, political philosophy and ethics are inseparable. A political action is valuable only insofar as it keeps in mind the ethical good of the people with which it is concerned. Consequently, the welfare of the people in general was the supreme consideration of the utilitarian philosopher. Paragraph 2. To bring about this welfare, two courses of action must be pursued simultaneously. First, all hindrances to the betterment of the people must be removed. Second, ideas and laws which will induce the betterment of the people must be promulgated. Promulgated meaning promote or make widely known. To accomplish these two outcomes, there is needed, obviously, an adequate knowledge of human nature. This knowledge, the utilitarian, says, includes a knowledge of the motives of human action and of the idea that innate, I think they mean idea, IDEA, not ideal, that animates human beings. And in order that one may acquire this knowledge correctly, it is necessary that he seek the facts dispassionately. Dispassionately meaning not influenced by strong emotion, and scientifically through the mechanism of the senses. Superficial analysis should be discouraged. Wild flights of the imagination, discountenance. Discountenance meaning refuse to approve, and unverified assumptions discarded, for such mistaken methods produce only haphazard views of social life. Observation, experimentation, and sound generalizations are absolutely necessary to the utilitarian. Wishful thinking, random guesswork, and loose generalization must be studiously meaning marked by steady attention and effort, avoided. Utilitarian ethics, said ethicist William L. Davidson, is analytic, descriptive, and inductive. Inductive meaning inference of general laws from particular instances. Okay, so from like an observation, then you come up with some general law. Resting on ascertained facts, and its aim has reference to the right use of the facts so as to advance social progress and for the concrete purpose of improving the existing conditions of life. Ethical facts are of infinitely more importance to the utilitarian thinker than ethical theories, no matter how ideal they may be or what their source. Ideal is used correctly here in this instance. All right. Paragraph 3. At this point, the intuitional thinker takes issue with the utilitarian. For in denying the power of innate ideas, the utilitarian, by implication, has ignored the absolute, whether it be in the form of God, a principle, or an idea. I think they meant idea here, but oh well. But the utilitarian is not seriously alarmed by the seeming lack of an absolute in his philosophy, for he believes that if all the ascertainable data of life can be found, analyzed, and applied, the superstructure of truth will stand. Fourth, complete and unassailable. Unassailable meaning unable to be attacked. Know the truth, and the truth will set you free, might well be his motto. In the meantime, while the intuitional thinker elaborates webs from his inner being, the utilitarian seeks to know the nature of man, his character, his wants, his limitations, and his possibilities. Paragraph 4. The utilitarian is intellectual. Utilitarians believe, first, that pleasure and pain are the mainsprings of human action. Second, that the five senses give them a reasonably correct and complete account of the world around them. Third, that all relationships between things in the external world are comprehensible to the human mind. Fourth, that cause and effect are natural and not supernatural. And fifth, that ideas are not innate but acquired through experience and education. Utilitarianism as a mode of thinking is rational in its procedure, pragmatic in its attitude towards truth, scientific in its method, and skeptical in its consideration of conclusions. Occasionally, he mounts to sublime meaning of such excellence as to inspire awe, heights in his perceptions. At times he descends to aridity meaning barren and unproductive, and spiritual death, but at all times he keeps before himself one purpose, the scientific search of truth. Which of the following statements about utilitarian beliefs is not assumed by the author? Is it A, laws that impede social progress should be revoked? Is it B, that laws that impede social welfare should be revoked? Is it C, human nature is naturally inclined to promote the social welfare? Or is it D, human motives should be studied and incentivized for social welfare? Definitely press pause if you need to, and I'll give you a moment to think. If you're having difficulty answering, open up a second window to view the reading of the passage and search for the text support to select the correct answer choice. All right. This reasoning within the text question wants you to think about claims that the author does or doesn't make, okay? So let's first start by taking a look at answer choice A. Paragraph 2 explains the two main courses of action that utilitarians pursue to bring about social welfare, okay? And then they say first, quote, hindrances to social betterment must be removed. So social progress and social welfare are both referred to as equally important goals of utilitarian ethics in paragraph 2. So these are beliefs of the author, so that's why they're wrong, okay? The author writes in paragraph 2 as well that, quote, ideas and laws which will induce the betterment of the people must be promulgated. To accomplish this, there is needed an adequate knowledge of human nature. So the utilitarians believe that the human nature should be analyzed and understood so that it can be motivated and shaped in accordance with the greater social good. So, not incentivize. Incentivize is just the wrong word. If human behavior needs to be shaped, this implies that utilitarians do not believe humans will naturally promote the greater good. So actually incentivize is the right word. We gotta sort of nudge them in the right direction. So 3 out of 4 are assumed, except for answer choice C. The author doesn't assume that human nature is naturally inclined to promote social welfare because, their behavior has to be like shaped or something. All right? According to the logic of the author's argument, if utilitarians did not deny the power of innate ideas, then they would 1. No longer ignore God. 2. Have less reason to adopt the scientific method. Or 3. No longer believe that ethical acts are those that promote the general welfare of the people. Now for the answer choices. A. 1 only. B. 1 and 2. Or C. 2 and 3. In this reasoning within the text question, you have to think about what claims the author uses to support his or her reasoning. So let's first start out with, let's just break these down. In paragraph 3, the author states, quote, for denying the power of innate ideas, the utilitarian by implication has ignored the absolute, whether it be in the form of God, a principle, or an idea. Thus, God is among the forms of the absolute ignored by utilitarians as a byproduct of their denial of innate ideas, okay? And later in the passage, the author suggests that the utilitarian's alternative to relying on innate ideas is to create knowledge by using, quote, all the ascertainable data of life that can be found, analyzed, and applied via, quote, experience and education using the, quote, scientific method. So this, too, is a byproduct of innate ideas, okay? Paragraph 1 argues that utilitarians believe that ethical acts are those that promote public welfare. Okay, so that's where this comes from. But this is independent of their denial of innate ideas because they could rely on such ideas to tell them what acts promote the public welfare. All right, so because option 3 is taken out of context, the correct answer choices would have to be 1 and 2. No longer ignore God and have less reason to adopt the scientific method. This is if they didn't deny the power of innate ideas. So the opposite of what's stated in the passage, okay? All right.